Hello travelers, Tara here, and I'm going to bring you another open reading. I had not planned on doing one, but I just finished the Pisces, Aries, Taurus, and Gemini romance readings over on the website. I haven't posted those yet, but by the time later on this evening, those will be posted. Right after I post this, I'm going to start working on those. I will go ahead and complete the last 4 readings and have those posted this evening and get those out of the way. That way I can take a break and be fresh because I'm starting the 20 for 20. So for those of you who've already paid, I'm going to start working on those probably tomorrow. So be looking for your videos. I'm not going to notify you when I'm getting ready to start it. You're just going to get it when it's done. For those of you who are interested in getting a 20-minute reading for $20, you get 1 question. Some of you, I've offered a video reading and you get to keep those. That's $25, but it's still 1 question, okay? You can go over to the website on the main page and you'll see it up on the menu. It's 20 for 20. Now, my plan was to do that until November 19th, but I'm going to stop that and do it till November 12th. And the reason why is I want to offer you guys, I have a transit tutorial. I think it's 30 minutes for $35 where I will go through how to read transits in your chart, show you how to do that, show you how to go to another website and create your own free chart so you can watch the transits go around and explain that to you. I'm going to offer that, and I'm going to make a discount off on that. And so the reason why is the very last reading I did for the Romance Gallery for the Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, something just kind of clicked for me. And what it has to do with Jupiter. You know, people make a big deal about Jupiter changing signs and how he brings you abundance and growth. And this is very true. There is always a negative side to Jupiter. Sometimes Jupiter doesn't, things will happen when Jupiter makes a move that seem to be very, very contradictory to what Jupiter is all about. So say, for instance, Jupiter moved into Scorpio, and instead of it bringing something great and wonderful to you, maybe you lost something or you lost someone. But the reason why you lost it was because Jupiter is trying, he wants to give you an opportunity to replace it with something bigger and better. Okay, that's first and foremost. Now, what came to me was that we have Jupiter in Scorpio until, I want to say, November 8th or 9th of 2018, where he will be moving into his ruling sign of Sagittarius. So we're looking at from 2018 to 2019. And for some reason, my guides are telling me that that's going to be very, very pivotal for a lot of people. Now, no matter what your sun sign is, we all have the 10 planets, the Mercury, Venus, the moon, yada, yada, yada. We all have those located somewhere in our charts. Okay. So don't assume that just because you're not a Scorpio sun and Jupiter, you have Jupiter somewhere in your chart. You also have Scorpio somewhere in your chart. Okay. And so that's going to show you the house. So let's say you have Scorpio on the 11th house. That means Jupiter is sitting in your 11th house. That means that you are going to have an opportunity of increase through your friends, your groups, and your networks. Okay. So I have a bunch of articles that I'm going to be posting up about how I think the easiest way to understand the planet, the sign, and the house. And I hope it's going to be simple for you. Of course, you can always post underneath the article with your questions. Now, for those people who have membership options, you already have your free charts, right? If you choose to come over and join the website, you have 3 options. You can do 30 days for $7, 6 months for $28, and a year for $50. If you don't want to join, you don't have to. You can still come in and purchase your chart for me. It would be a standalone chart, which is a separate price, and you can still book the transit tutorial. I think that's very important because I'm just getting the sense that 2018 to 2019 is going to be a pivotal time frame because Jupiter will be moving into his ruling sign. So with that being said, and that's going to be big for you Sagittarian sun, moon, and risings. And the reason why is because you've had, if you're a Sagittarian rising, that means that you have it on the 12th house. Saturn's been sitting in your 12th house. If you're a sun, Sagittarian sun, that means Saturn's been sitting on your first house. Okay. Wherever your moon is, I don't know where your moon would be. You need your chart for that. But wherever your moon, whatever house that your moon is sitting in, if it's in the sign of Sagittarius, okay, then Saturn's been sitting there. So Jupiter will be coming to bring you relief. So I always have been talking to you about, you know, how Saturn's a real bastard, but what Saturn is designed to make you build strength and perseverance and determination to really fix whatever issues that you have in your life. He wants you to build something strong, no matter what area. He usually comes in to show you what area of life is not strong enough to withstand the what ifs, okay? And that happens for 2 year time period. It's really one of the toughest time frames you'll probably ever go through. People get sick, you get sick, you can lose your job, your relationships break up, you lose your home, or your house is falling apart, or your car is all tacky, or your job's not going well. And so what Saturn is doing is saying, hey, look, you know, this is some raggedy shit, fix it. Okay, and you get 2 years to do that. And then right after that, Jupiter moves in to give you some relief. All of the hard work that you put in while Saturn was where he was sitting in your chart, okay, was the time that you were supposed to be clearing the ground, removing obstacles that no longer serve your highest good, so that when Jupiter comes, you can plant new seeds, okay? That's really what that transit's all about. I'm reading a very interesting book right now. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but it's an astrology book. Felt like something was crawling on my leg. Holy shit. There's a little kid under my table. Oh my God. It's not a real kid. It's a little kid. Got my attention by touching me on my leg. Okay, look. Can you see that? The Fool. And the Magician has presented himself. Now, I'm using the Hermetic Tarot, and they're kind of difficult to see because they're in black and white. And I'm going to try to read the story for you. And these are two major arcanas, and they follow each other, one behind the other. The 0 and the 1. King of Pentacles. There's our Taurus card. Now, all throughout this year, there are going to be oppositions from Scorpio to Taurus, and Taurus to Scorpio. Why? Because the 8th house is opposite the 2nd house. The 2nd house is opposite the 8th house. So this is when there are oppositions, that means that there are challenges between your personal values, your money, the things that you own, and other people's money, other people's values, how you share something with other people. Here's a Queen of Pentacles. A Knight of Pentacles. This is all about finances, and that is what I was trying to say, because not only does, these last few months, we're already in November, Saturn leaves Sagittarius on December 22nd. But on November 15th, Mercury goes into shadow retrograde phase. Okay? And then Uranus is going to be moving into the sign of Taurus. And Taurus is opposite Scorpio. That may not make any sense to you. But if you get your chart, you might understand it. Here is the Ace of Cups. Here is the Six of Wands. The Six of Pentacles. I will show you these cards. And there's Jupiter. Wow. This is an impressive spread. This is an impressive spread. I don't even know where to begin. Wow. This is a very, very impressive spread. What's underneath the deck? It is the Universe card or the World card. Right in the center is the Knight of Pentacles. He comes with a horse. He has two shields, but his battle shield is resting on his horse. And he has this mini shield with the pentacle on it. In other words, he is prepared, and it's a mace, but it is a mace that is made from a pentacle. And this tells me that it is the idea or the concept of really, really facing the forces of nature, and of really, really being ready to do whatever is necessary on this physical plane to achieve something. Now, there are series. This is also a series thing. And the reason why I say that, we have these stalks of wheat and corn. Ceres is known as the goddess of agriculture. She's also sometimes considered to be a virgin queen. I mean, a virgin goddess. In a sense, she was actually, I think she was Jupiter's sister, and they had a child together, Proserpina. Proserpina is the go-between. She is the queen of the underworld. She's married to Pluto, but she gets to spend X amount of time in the underworld with Pluto and X amount of time up on Earth. So this is the division of seasons. This is how we got spring, summer, winter, and fall. And all wheat and corn symbols relate to the harvest of the fall. This card represents the North Node in Virgo. Now, everything is going on around this night. What is most interesting to me about this spread are these indications of discs. See, there's the sun. There's Hermes, the discs. See the discs? It's repeated in the wheels of the chariot here. In the background, here and up here, are discs. Here are our coins. See? I don't know if you can see that. There's one on his shield there that he's holding. And here, his mace. The only card that does not have a disc on it is this Ace of Cups. Unless we want to look at the opening of the cup as a disc, which in one way it is. Things coming back around, but also it speaks to some type of energetic portal way that either will be opening, is opening. It is definitely an opportunity to change, or change is coming, whether you realize it or not. The spirit of ether, this is the Fool card. It is the essence of air. It is Uranus, and Uranus is the great liberator. He speaks to freedom, unconventionality, individuality. He can also be rebellious, followed by Mercury, the magician, Gemini, the air card. Okay, news, messages, travel, and in one sense, once this King of Pentacles shows up, we know that that's a fixed sign. So in one way, that top row can be talking to me about something new coming in, but because of the Mercury retrograde coming up, it's going to be slowed down for a bit. Now, typically Mercury in Taurus can be lots of money-making ideas that come to you, okay? But it is also about being able to slow down your thoughts and methodically build something solid. Taurus is a money sign. And I think in one respect, this is about trying to realign your values in some way or some form about something, okay? For others of you, this could really be about resolute and starting a new, gaining some new kind of either releasing something, some type of emotional catharsis, or either something new coming in for you. But it is done through the energy of the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune, because it represents Sagittarius is the guru sign. So in other words, this is about perhaps meeting new people coming into your life who can actually teach you and show you something. This could be about you being able to teach and show someone something. It rules higher education. It rules the law. It rules karmic law, natural law, universal law. It rules foreigners, philosophy, astrology, religion, beliefs, the internet, imports, exports. It's about getting the message out to the larger masses. Now, what's interesting to me is this Lord of Victory, this Six of Wands. This is about gathering your force of energy and compressing it down into something Look, there's all kinds of fire, but somebody's holding on to that, and they are concentrating all of that energy into one place or one thing. Okay? Doesn't matter how fucking hot it gets. They're focused on that, and they literally have it in their grasp. And fire is the great, I mean, it is. It's the great purifier. Now, what is this? This is Jupiter in the North Node. See those symbols there? There's Jupiter and there's a North Node. The North Node wants you to change. It wants you to follow that direction. Why? It's easier to fall back into the South Node. That's our been there, done that energy. So we're being tasked to really move forward as best we can in the direction of which we honestly believe or feel or think that we should. What resonates most with us. Now, this could also be about some type of people being judgmental about you, because Sagittarius can also be a very, very judgmental sign. You don't do it this way, or if you don't do it that way, or you don't believe this, or if you don't believe that, then it can create some conflict. But these cards are not speaking to me of any type of conflict. There are no sevens here. There are no sevens. There are no fives. Instead, I have a king and a queen of pentacles with the wheel of fortune. I have the fool with the magician. I also have a knight. I have 3 court cards here. And then I have 2 sixes. And sixes are all about balance. You see, you've already, or you will be coming through those fives. You have to get to the 6, you have to come through the 5. And the 5 says that there are lots of outside influences that have destabilized a situation, but you are able to grasp a hold of that. Okay? You're able to grab it and control it. Now, wands are traditionally associated with work, but I look at wands really as the energy of what are you passionate about? What are your desires? What are your ambition? What is your focus? And this is really about not being distracted from what it is you're trying to accomplish, or where it is that you're trying to go. Here is the 6 of Pentacles. It speaks, this is called the Lord of Victory. And it is literally telling you that if you can grasp a hold, get a hold of that fire. It's like being Prometheus, okay? It is grabbing a hold of that fire and controlling it. And if you can grab a hold of that fire and controlling it, you are victorious in that. That will lead you to the Lord of Material Success. And that is a hand holding these vines here. Nothing is withering and dying. In fact, it's flourishing. There's another card where they're holding on, and the vine has thorns and things have withered. That's not this. This is really about some kind of abundance coming in. But you're gonna, and this is a fire card. This is the ultimate fire. This is the spiritual fire. This is the spiritual air. This is the spiritual communications and thoughts of really getting in touch. Now, what I want to do, there's a lot of Taurus energy here. This represents Taurus and the moon. This rules Sagittarius and Capricorn. Now, we have huge transits. We have Pluto in Capricorn. And there are lots of transits across Capricorn this week. Please watch, please check for the, this is Aries. Now, what you notice about these 2 cards is that they're driven by fire. You don't get to be a king and a queen without being able to marshal your energy, your passion, your desire, focus that and concentrate it in so that you can attain the level of king and queen. So this is Sagittarius and Capricorn. This is Aries and Taurus. Okay? This is why you know, the court cards show you a progression, not only in age, but you start out as a page. You don't know a whole lot. You got to depend on other people. Then you get to be a knight, where you get to rush off and make your own decisions. Well, we know that knight energy is not a full mature energy, right? And so there can be mistakes and misdirection and wrong things, or rushing too fast, or not moving fast enough. And then finally, once you learn those lessons, you arrive at the king and the queen. And that says you paid your dues, you know exactly, you know, you got some wisdom underneath your belt. And now everything that you do going forward is about being able to marshal your emotions and your fire, your passion, and your desire about where you want to go. For some of you, this could be a Uranus Jupiter conjunction. And I think those two planets came together. They've been doing this since like 2015, opposition. They've been opposite each other. Uranus has been in Aries. Jupiter was in Libra. So there was the opposition. Aries is opposite Libra. So this is about me versus we. Here in the center, here's the Knight of Pentacles that tells us that there's slow movement. So we know that Uranus will be leaving Aries in, oh geez, I can't tell you off the top of my head. I've got it somewhere on the website, but it will be leaving. So in one respect, this is telling me that. But it is also telling me across this, the stock market, there's going to be a shift in that. Don't ask me why that just came to me, but it did. But that's what Taurus rules. It rules stocks, bonds, 401ks, your personal bank accounts, your property. It is also ruled by Venus. Now here, this Queen of Thrones, she is coming in as Capricorn. You see the goat there at the top? This is about your highest level of ambition. This rules the 10th house of your chart. Your highest status and highest ambition. Your standing in the world or in the community and how you are seen by those. What have you done? What are you trying to do? Where are you trying to go? What does it take to get from where I am now to where I want to be? It takes harnessing the fire. Well, let's read the meanings of these cards. And some of these meanings are kind of harsh. It is I have no repeater numbers. Oh, I do have 2 6s. Let me tell you what 2 6s. I don't even know if this book has 2 6s in here. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if this is if it does, it doesn't. Okay. It doesn't tell me this. But let me tell you what 6s represent. It represents accomplishment and demonstrates respective elemental energies at their practical best. In other words, harnessing and using whatever you have. And here we have these idea of the harvest, some bounty coming in. This may not always be in financial sense. You know, there's plenty of ways to receive a bounty or a harvest. It could be in knowledge, in love, in sharing, in generosity. So there are many ways to receive a harvest and a bounty. It is about what whatever it is that you have focused on and what you most desire in this world, how are you expending that energy? That's really what that's telling me. Now, let me read to you. This speaks to thought, sensitivity. It speaks of the flesh and eternal life. It also speaks to spirituality and initiative, but it can also be about folly and foolishness. I think this is why you're being asked to harness. Because sometimes, we can get so bent out of shape on something that we do something rash. We want to go our own way no matter what. We're going to do whatever we're going to do no matter what. We don't think about the consequences of it. Yeah? That's being foolish or rash. Here is the Magician. He speaks to wisdom and skill, adaptation, originality, and self-confidence. He is the energy mover. That keeps coming up, this energy movement. It keeps coming up. Let me read to you of the coins here. There are no swords. Absolutely no swords here. I guess you don't need any because that's the ultimate air. It is the spirit of ether. Here is the king. I would like to think here comes the king. Oh, they've got these all mixed up together. I think they're in the, here we go. They put them all together. The king. Increased good or evil. Increase good and or evil. Okay. Solid. Character and intelligence. Steady. Practical application and reliable. Now, what that means is because it's a fixed energy, that can be either for good or for bad. Yes? Increase for good or either evil. So in one respect, it's saying that Uranus has come to free you up from some kind of stagnancy situation. Okay, but in order to really take advantage of that, you're going to still have to have some kind of fixity to what you're doing. Harnessing. The Queen. Impetuous, charming, intelligent, timid, kind, melancholy, truthful, graceful, and moody. And what's interesting is this rules 20 degrees Sagittarius to 20 degrees Capricorn. Pluto is now sitting at 16 degrees Capricorn. Pluto is the slowest moving planet. It takes 248 years to make a complete transit around the sun. So this is telling you that we're moving out, we're moving close. 16 degrees is only 4 degrees away from 20 degrees, okay, of Capricorn. This is definitely about a change in the balance of power. This king, he represents 20 degrees of Aries and 20 degrees of Taurus. Now, Uranus is sitting at 26 degrees Aries, has been. It may have moved a degree, I don't know. Knight of Pentacles. There's a lot of pentacles here. Heavy, dull, laborious, but also being patient and clever. And that could be why we have this foolish card here. For some of you, things just ain't moving damn fast enough, and it may cause you to be rash. There's the wheel. Please think very carefully. I think what the cards are trying to say, this rules 20 degrees of Leo to 20 degrees of Virgo. I'm sorry. This 20 degrees of Leo, and guess what? You see that North Node? That's where Leo is right now. If I'm not mistaken, it's at 21 degrees. Somewhere along there, it just hit 20, 21 degrees. Oh, Leo. The Ace of Cups. Abundance, fertility, productiveness, beauty, pleasure, happiness, and opulence. And what's interesting is the lotus underneath. You know, lotuses can grow in some of the ugliest fucking water. Brackish, nasty, stinky water. Okay? Water lilies. And this is really about, no matter what the circumstances are, about trying to find the truth in the circumstance for yourself and to still reach for the beauty of whatever it is that you want, regardless of what the conditions are. Harness. Now, let me get to these wands. The Six of Wands, the Lord of Victory. And guess what these two heads represent? That's the eagle of Jupiter. It rules Jupiter in Leo from 10 to 20 degrees. The meaning is victory after strife, conquest, triumph, success through energy and industry, but it can also rule insolence and pride of riches. That could be that negative energy of the good or evil of the king. Six of Coins. You know, this may not mean anything to any of you, but these cards are really trying to tell y'all something. I kid you not, they are trying hard to tell you something. And I hope that I am doing the messages justice. I really do. Hold on, I'm looking for the Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles, the Lord of material success. It rules the moon in Taurus from 10 to 20 degrees. It speaks to success and gain in material undertakings, power, influence, rank, nobility, rule over people, fortunate, successful, and it's about being just and liberal. Liberal and just. Not being judgmental. The Wheel of Fortune. Wow. This is a powerful spread, people. That's why I wanted to pull the cards so that you could see them, what I was pulling. This is a powerful spread. Now, good fortune, happiness, destiny, and fate. But we all know, you know, we can assume that fate has designed something for us. Okay? The only fate you can't change is the fact of whether maybe you were born black or white or Hindi or Catholic. You know, now people can change their sexes. Right? You can go from male to female or female to male now. That's through luck. That's through Uranus rules inventions and technology, medical. Virgo is all about the body and medicine and healing. It is what you choose to decide when the opportunity comes that determines your destiny. Yeah? Makes sense? The World card. And this is really just an astounding reading for me. This is the last card in the major arcana. It speaks to synthesis, a world kingdom, perfection and recognition. This is our Saturn card, people. And underneath it, Mercury in Virgo. It is the Ten of Pentacles. Now, for some of you, this very well could be about some kind of opportunity to really have a lot of finances and security. For others of you, this could be an opportunity to gain that spiritual wealth and abundance that you've been seeking. I think for me, what the message is that I come away with in terms of this reading is that it really is all what you make it, but you're going to have to be willing to embrace the change. Not fear it, not resist it, not rush ahead of it, but to focus. That's a very important card where it sits. And to harness. Become like Prometheus, the firebringer. He brought light to the world and gave man the power to see in the darkness. And in one respect, this is telling me that a lot of you feel that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. That's not true. You know, just keep inching your way down the tunnel. Inch your way down the tunnel. Eventually, you're going to come to where you can see, even if it's just a pinpoint of light. What does Jupiter? He brings faith and hope and optimism. And sometimes, you know, never take hope away from a person, because sometimes that may be all they have. Hope can be a kind of a dangerous thing, because you can set yourself up, hope for something, and it doesn't turn out the way, but that's really the ego of it, right? So whatever you've got going on in your life right now, I always say, if it's something you don't like, change it. Don't lose sight of it. Don't lose hope of it. If it's something you truly desire, focus on it. Do whatever is necessary that you need to do that's going to get you to that place where you want to be. Now, this can be very difficult. I mean, you know, sometimes things are a lot easier said than done. But you have this lovely energy of Mercury and Taurus, Mercury and the moon. There's a lot of earth energy here balanced out with this. There really is. Saturn is over the whole thing. And what was I just saying to you at the beginning about Saturn? He wants you to build it. And this is about courage and determination. That's what Saturn can't, you know, it's about perseverance through the hard times and knowing that there is light at the end of the tunnel. That's what I have for you. Please don't ask me why that message came through. But I hope that that message helped you in some way. There's a change coming. There really is a change coming, and I don't just think it's going to be in the personal lives of people. I think it's going to be something that is global, a global kind of a change, a global reset in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how that's going to come about. The cards know better than I, and I am not always able to get all of the meanings out of the cards, and sometimes I don't interpret them in the way, or I'll leave something out. You know, if this means something to you and you got something out of it, great. You know, if you didn't, then maybe the message wasn't meant for you. But I do think that the message of really getting clear on where it is you want to go, that's a message for everybody. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? How do you want to be viewed? Is there hope? Or do you have to get out there and, I mean, if you want something to come true, if you're hoping, you got to get out there and work for it. I mean, it ain't going to just drop in your lap. Sometimes opportunities do just fall in, you know, but if you're not ready for it, what happens? So until next time, namaste.